are working at NNPC, yet they are not refining the oil. What are they doing in the office? Cletus Obun. In an interview with Arise News, Cletus Obun, a member of the APC, raised concerns about the 3 refineries operating in the country. According to him, despite generating vast sums of money to pay their workers, these refineries are not actually refining any oil. He pointed out that the individuals occupying positions in these offices lack experience or expertise in the oil sector, rendering them incapable of carrying out the essential task of refining oil. Obun expressed his belief that the focus of the nation should be on addressing these critical issues rather than being consumed by political quagmires. Emphasizing the importance of addressing the matter at hand, Cletus Obun stated that it is the responsibility of the labor union to investigate and rectify the situation in the best interest of the people. He voiced his discomfort with the prevailing situation where people are employed by the NNPC without contributing to the actual refinement of oil. According to his sources, 3 refineries combined are generating immense revenue, raising questions about how this money is being justified when no oil is being refined. Obun challenged the presence of non-experts in the industry holding key positions within NNPC. He said that the individuals are working in the creeks and involved in crude extraction and export are true experts, while those in offices appear to be merely occupying space and receiving substantial salaries under the banner of NNPC. The lack of accountability surrounding this issue troubled him, prompting him to question the role of the labor union in seeking answers. That's the thing, it's like everyone wants to question. It all starts at the root. I think we just have a very bad system. And a system is made up of systems. And in the oil sector, we don't have a system. We have a failing system, right? The labor union in itself, the labor market in Nigeria is a failed system. The education system that is meant to pour into the labor market is a failed system. You know, there's so many, and that's the thing, when you have a system, to create a large, functioning society, country, infrastructure is made up of all systems in different places. So when they come together, it's like a web of systems that work perfectly together. But our systems at the core, are not maintained, are not thoughtfully programmed and implemented. That's also including what the future would look like. Our systems are not accountable. Our systems are on its own insufficient to carry itself. What do I mean? If there are rules, for example, like with the president, right? I personally think that if there's a proper system in place, right now, appointing ministers is not the issue. And maybe it's a constitutional system that needs a change, but since he was elected to when he was inaugurated, at least a month has passed. This is the time for you to build your cabinet, because you look at what Nigeria is facing right now. Our administration changing every 4 years is just so inefficient. Why? Because I think if there's no time frame or a way for him to appoint his ministers, then it basically means we're wasting time. It means we're wasting time and we lack focus on what we need to focus on. So what I mean is that a system in itself, an efficient system, should be efficient, first of all, where, time is used wisely, resources are used wisely, and things are easy to do and simple enough and efficient. Like, there's no wasting of resources that even includes time, right? So in the oil sector, rather than, and I've gone to explain this whole thing to just highlight that there is no point talking about, whose salaries are being paid, what is happening here, who are the experts, why are the experts not being recruited? Well, it's like at the core and at the foundation, there's no control, there's no regulation, there's no head, there's no direction. So if somebody making key decisions does not think of creating a system, right? And it's very simple. It's simple. What kind of people do you employ in different parts of the business or the sector, right? How much are you paying these individuals? Who is doing the accounting, right? So the person who's the head and who basically designs how the NNPC is meant to run is in charge of that. Because you basically have managerial administrative issues, right? Add in your corruption, a little bit of, neglect, a little bit of, unprofessionalism, then you have a mess. So the problem, in my opinion, is not, the labor union, what are they doing? The labor union in itself, is it a good system? Because the labor union as a system should work hand in hand with the education sector and the education system, because the labor system can then, decide and look at, okay, fine, these are the sectors in the country that need skilled workers. So is it that we go to universities and promote these kind of courses so we can produce skilled workers to go in those? So it's like the labor union in itself, is it an efficient system that works with all industries, especially the education sector? So it's like, at the core, Nigeria is a big failed system. That's what it is. And the failure is not just, Nigeria is a failure. It's made up of different systemic failures across different sectors. And that is what we should really focus on. Because again, the issues can lie in the education sector. Why do we have strikes? Why are people not being paid? Why are we delaying, the time in which we produce skilled individuals for the country? So we can ask those questions, but those are not the questions we should ask. The question we should ask is why the system is not efficient enough to pay its workers, to pay those that run the system. Not just the heads in key positions, but everyone. Those, including those that are even printing books, those that are sewing school uniforms. You're all part of the bigger education system. So again, my point is, it's a big systemic failure. There's no point looking at the symptoms when you're not, trying to fix the cause of a sickness. But I think, don't forget to like and subscribe.